What's up, everybody? I'm Jason with RiDetroit and Electric Avenue Bikes. Today I want to talk about 5 items that are under $100 that I think are kind of essential. So through the feedback that I got from a couple of my friends, they were like, in our last video I called it essential and I didn't mention tubes and things like that. Well, yes, there are other essential items, but these are items that aren't necessarily that, you know, like a tube or something technical, but something that's more gonna make your experience better, all right? So don't start sending me comments talking about, well, there's things that are more essential, because clearly there are things that are more essential. However, once again, you know, these are things that I use myself that I think have improved my situation and made my experience better, all right? So first off, we're gonna talk about the Elite Folding Lock. I got a special place in my heart for it because this is actually what we give away with our e-bikes. At Electric Avenue Bikes, we do e-bike rentals. And so we let people take them out for the day, and we want them to have the experience, and part of the experience of riding an e-bike can be going to lunch, it can be stopping somewhere and taking photos. So with our entire fleet, we give these out. So if we're comfortable enough giving out this lock, which is made by Avis, by the way, it's Bontrager branded, but it is made by Avis. If you are concerned about, you know, what type of lock, blah, 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 if we feel comfortable enough sending out a $3,000 bike for the day in the city of Detroit, we should feel definitely comfortable enough selling this. And this is what I do. So this is really what I start people with. When they're looking for a lock, it is $75, which is a great price for a lock, and it's a hinge folding lock. And people who aren't familiar with these, you can see how compact it is, and it's a really cool design that's really started to come towards the forefront in the last couple years. I feel like, you know, maybe 10 years ago I started seeing them around, but I think everybody makes one now. I know Kryptonite makes one that they use that's just as good. But the folding lock, definitely $75, will keep you safe. Can't go wrong with that. Tell you what, the Thule smartphone mount, when I saw this, I immediately knew it was going to be awesome. Thule makes great products. So as far as racks, I knew I hadn't really delved into accessories at the time, but when I saw this, I was like, I'm going to grab one. Immediately, it just became one of my favorite items. I really almost give these away as stocking stuffers. When people come into the shop, this is one of those accessories I really think people need. Not only does it swivel, so once it locks your phone in, and we'll show you in the video and in the B-roll what it looks like to spin this thing and what it actually looks like outside the box. But what's cool about it is it snaps on pretty much, I haven't found a phone that it doesn't fit yet. It comes with 2 different what are called locks. Once again, we'll show you those that are like rubber bands that fit around. And the cool thing about this is it gives you full access to your screen. Other bike mounts and things like that that come across and are rubber and say they don't damage anything. They might not damage anything, but you just don't get that full scroll. So this one gives you full access to your screen in a vertical, and you can turn it horizontal. And then what's also cool on this is it's got a release button on the top. So if you do lock your bike up, you need to go somewhere, you can pop this thing off just by pushing the button, sliding it right up. All the other ones, once again, I've experienced, there's kind of a lot of trouble to go through to get them off. When people come into the shop, to show them how comfortable I am with this, I'll put my phone in this and then I'll actually shake it as hard as I can in front of them to show them that it won't come flying out of this thing. So Thule smartphone mount, once again, this one right here, $29.95, so $30, not expensive at all. Definitely not expensive when you're talking about keeping your smartphone safe. The seat pack with the flat kit. This thing, man, so what you're looking at first off is the pack, all right? So I'm gonna show you why this is essential, okay? When you're going out on a bike ride, we always tell people that you should have a multi-tool with you, you should have a tube with you, you should have a set of tire levers with you at all times. Even if you don't know how to use those items, you might run across somebody who does, and it'll definitely help you out in a situation. What's cool about this pack is it's been packed perfectly. Once again, Anthony, thank you for doing this, but It's got everything you need in it. So when I first picked up the pack, I was like, oh, you know, we're going to talk about the seat pack. And I was like, well, that's cool. But then when you see that it has everything we talked about, the multi-tool, and you can check in our last video, which was under 10 bucks, a tube. Everybody should keep an extra tube, because if you get a flat, which you will eventually get a flat, once again, if you don't know how to change a flat, at least somebody you might run into might know how to do it. So if you have the tube, you can help yourself. If you don't have a tube, we're all in trouble. If you got your tire levers in the top, I mean, this just catapulted, really. I've always used packs like this, but I've never actually packed one perfectly like this one. So once again, this comes in right now at 50 bucks. We're staying under $100. So not only are you getting this neat little thing that can go under your seat, and we'll show you some video about that, but you know, I'm just a neat freak, so I like to keep everything tied together. So even if I'm using a bigger bag and I'm not locking this to my seat, I know I have everything in this. So I can just throw it in my bag, and I know everything that I need can transfer from bag to bag to bag, and I don't have to worry about, do I have a tube, do I have all that stuff, because it's all contained in this. Bingo. This item, I'm gonna go right now on record that's saying it probably is my product of the year for 2021. The Tannus Armour tire liner. Wow. How much can I say? Once again, we did a video about this, and we'll put the link in the comments so you can make sure that you check that video out. When I saw these, once again, I questioned it because it was all about adding weight and adding all this stuff. But when you're riding an e-bike, really your main concern is keep them rolling all the time. So you don't want to get a flat. Even though you can change a tire on an e-bike, they are, as we know, a little bit heavier than a regular bike. Sometimes it can be cumbersome, so you want to cut out as many chances of that. And also, on an e-bike, you're going a lot further distance. Once again, the Tannus Armour liner, this thing comes in multiple sizes. I can't tell you, once I got this, I was so passionate about it, we sold out of a ton of these right off, and I expect next spring for these to be another huge seller. They vary in price for size between 39 and 59. So another cool thing about these, I don't even have to really, usually I have to like look it up and say, what's going on with these? I mean, so what's cool about these is they have run flat, which is another cool thing. So if you do get a flat, which is out of the question, you have the ability to ride your bike to where you're going or to the closest bike shop, as opposed to getting off with the aid of that. 10 to 12 millimeters of resistance, protection on the middle, and you're looking at 8 or, you know, on the sides, on the sidewalls. So imagine what that adds to your experience, but your peace of mind. You know, I have a lot of friends who ride their bikes, you know, across the city, and a lot of times I say, hey man, call me when you get to where you're going, because I'm concerned. And I'm always concerned, but with these, I feel a little less concerned, you know, because I know that they have this protection and they're gonna be able to get to where they're going. So my product of the year is easily the Tannus Armour liner. You're looking at $39.99 to $59.99 per tire. Well worth the investment. Can't speak it enough. The Flare RT rear light. What I love about the Flare stuff is that it is Bluetooth, all right? And what that means is, so you can actually buy a remote that is made by Bontrager as well. And if you can actually set these up in a configuration. If you bought 2 of these, you could turn them into a blinker situation via the remote. A little pricier than the standard light, but well worth the price. A standard light usually comes in about $20 cheaper, but once you see it connected to the remote, and I'll put a link to Trek so you can actually see that, it is awesome. And they make a wide variance of lights. So this is probably the smaller end of a rear light, but you can actually go up in that and, you know, increase your lumens and things like that. This is on the low end, but I love this light. I personally have 2 of these on the back of my bike. What's cool about Bontrager is one of their claims to fame is they might have as many lumens as other companies, because other companies will just say, we'll have the same amount of lumens. But Bontrager stuff tends to hold their lumens longer than other lights. Okay, so their claim to fame is other lights are gonna go dimmer quicker than a Bontrager light. And I tell you what, I've actually seen it with my own eyes, and it is really rad. So high on the list, the Bontrager Flare RT, or any of the lights that they make that are part of the Bluetooth system that can be connected to that is awesome. This one comes in at 60 bucks. Once again, well worth it. All of the stuff we talked about, I've either used or are currently using. So that is awesome too. If I don't use it, I would never tell anybody to. That's a rule that I have. With that being said, hopefully this list is helpful to you. If you think of anything that I might put on the next list, you know, maybe I should do another list under 200 bucks. Let me know. It's all, you can all leave that in the comments, all right? And do me a favor, if you haven't subscribed yet, do me a favor. As you know, that's how we all, you know, do our thing. Everybody thinks that we're asking for subscribers because we like to be really popular, but for those who don't know, that's how people like myself, we actually connect to sort of a bigger audience, so we can do things like get better equipment. If you look way back at our first video, you'll know that we've definitely bought newer cameras, we've bought newer equipment, and all that has come with the help or the motivation to get to the next level so that we can give you better quality stuff and do better reviews and things like that. Please hit the like, please subscribe to the RiDetroit channel so when you don't miss out on other stuff that we do, and I'll see you soon. Once again, Jason Hall with RiDetroit. Thanks.